Kim Keefe with Kim Keefe's Team Open Doors, powered by Keefe Real Estate, and the purveyor of Kim Keefe's Community Corner. How about that? Second week with our name. We're getting into this. So I am here today with, I'm first excited to report that I learned something new today. And it's most days I learn something new, but today I'm excited because I found out that the business name is Armanetti Wine and Spirits. There's no S. If you're from Woodstock or Crystal Lake, you probably call it Armanetti's. But Scott Noshay, who's the wine manager at Armanetti Wine and Spirits, is here to share with us some tips and tricks and some wonderful things going on the Route 47 store in Woodstock. Hello, Scott.
Hey, Kim. How are you? It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for allowing me to record the day before so that it's an appropriate time to also drink wine. It's not 10 a.m. like when we're posting.
Yeah, right. That'd be a little rough, a little early.
So, Scott, could you share with us just what's going on right now at Armanetti Wine and Spirits?
Yeah, so obviously an interesting time right now, but Henry, our owner, and Kim, our store manager, are doing a really good job to take all the precautions to make sure everybody's safe and do as many options for the customers to make it as easy as possible, whether it be curbside pickup or delivery. So we do have through our website, which is Armanetti, Woodstock.com, no S there. So ArmanettiWoodstock.com. You can order online, punch all your credit card information in, call when you get there, and then we drop it off in your trunk or curbside for you. We also offer delivery as well. We're just being as safe as possible and trying to do the best we can during interesting times. But that being said, we're open 7 days still. A little bit of abbreviated hours. Just open from 10 o'clock to 9 o'clock during the week, and then from 11 to 7 on Sundays. But still 7 days. Still doing our best to serve the community, and yeah, always new stuff coming in still. That really hasn't stopped. There's still new wines always coming in, ton of craft beers, new spirits always. So yeah, just kind of doing our best to weather the storm and keep as up to date as possible.
Well, that's great, because certainly my trips to the grocery store have halted. So I know that when I get food delivered to my house, it's kind of a pain to have alcohol delivered because there's all the double secret security, everything that's going on. So we made big copies of our license so we can, have it available ready for folks to scan it. So thank you first for adapting to the new challenge. And can you share with us just kind of what some of the trends are going on right now as far as wine?
Yeah, so I mean, we're coming into the warmer season. It's a little ugly today, but coming into the warmer season, so definitely white wine and rosé weather when it dictates. But that being said, there's obviously the red wine drinkers are going to stick with that, and it's also grilling season. So if you're grilling steaks, you're doing ribs, something like that, it's definitely a perfect time to open a big bottle of red for one of those.
Awesome. And what's the rosé you have there? And do you know an approximate price point for that rosé?
Yeah, so the one I'm currently drinking myself here. So this is 90 plus cellars. So 90, if I can get a little closer there. 90 plus cellars is what they call negociants. So fancy French word for negotiators, which basically they buy up extra juice from vineyards that have a surplus every year. So they can produce, they can't tell you what vineyard it's from contractually, but they can produce a really high quality wine for very reasonable price tag. This is their Languedoc Rosé, which is their Lot 33. Languedoc's a region just to the east of, or to the west of Provence, but similar French Riviera, rocky soil. You get a ton of rocky minerality out of it because of that soil type. You also get a lot of like green strawberry, some ripe cherry notes in there, really good floral notes. Killer food wine. It's one of those that goes, really with just about everything, except for maybe a really big red meats. But if you're doing the vegetarian dish, cheese and charcuterie platter would be fantastic. Or if you're like my wife Meg and I, it's yard work is typically rosé weather. Nice hot sunny day out there, so it's the perfect time to crack a bottle of this.
Oh my goodness, you're making me hungry and thirsty. I think it's appropriate now that we toast officially. So you can, I don't know if you could hear that. There you go. And there's some great proverb where you're supposed to look someone in the eye when you toast. Is that right?
I believe so. And I think we did it well on Zoom. So
I did. I had your eye in my camera.
Yeah.
Awesome. What else do you have there? I see other bottles.
Yeah, a couple different ones. I figured I'd bring out a white and a red as well. So this white is really cool. Obviously, like I said, tough times, not really doing a lot of tasting with my reps, but small little distributor, small producer with this winery. The winery is called Cobalt, and it's out of Slovenia, which not a ton of people have probably tried many of the Slovenian wines, like some of the Croatian, Hungarian. A lot of the stuff never really leaves the country. This is a grape called Sipon, is what they refer to it in Slovenia, but it's more commonly known as Ferment, which is the Hungarian name for it. Kind of Sauvignon Blanc, but a lot bigger. They age it on the lees, which means the dead yeast, they kind of let that age with the wine, and it gives a little body to it, gives a little more of that yeastiness to it. But it's got a ton of tropical fruit to it, a little mango, great minerality as well. Little herbaceousness, almost like some fresh thyme or sage in there as well. Another one that as an aperitif would be fantastic. If you're just doing it to sip on, maybe with some cheese and crackers before a meal. But grilled fish would be fantastic. It really holds up if you're going to do roast chicken. Would work well as well. But just a really unique wine, and that's something that I've been trying to do. I mean, almost 3 years in, I'm trying to expand the department a little bit, and this kind of thing, some Greek wines, Hungarian and Slovenian are fun areas that we really haven't approached a ton. But I'll just look at this label a little bit closer. Kind of unique looking Slovenian writing, and
hey, that label says like Kim Keefe.
I think so. I think the KK was perfect. I haven't even thought about that. Yeah. And then I brought one on. Well, I figured we got to have one red too. Like I said, seeing as red wine drinkers, a lot of times never really sway from those. So this is a really interesting one. Another interesting region. This is called Mediterranean Soul. And let's see if we can get there. And it is out of the Holaz region, which is a little sub-appellation in Galilee. And it's on the 33rd parallel, which lines up perfectly with Bordeaux. So they actually use all Bordeaux varietals. So it's very common varietals, even though it's out of Israel. It's Cabernet Sauvignon base. It's got a little Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Malbec, and Petit Verdot. So it's got all 5 of the red Bordeaux varietals. My distributor, it's 2013, so it's got a little age on it. So my distributor is obviously trying to move it out because it's getting up there in years, and it's not a wine you're going to age for 30 or 40. That being said, the fruit is showing beautiful on it, which is really what you worry about a little bit with an older wine. So you get bright raspberry, cherry notes. Again, it's got a little bit of herbaceousness to it, more on that kind of oregano side. Really, really soft tannins, which have softened a smidge with the age as well. But typically about a $13 bottle retail, and we've got it for $6.99 and $5.99 if you buy a case.
That's crazy. Did you say $6.99?
Yeah, and $4 a bottle if you buy a case. So it's less than $48 a case, which was really unheard of. I mean, I have so many barefoot and yellowtail drinkers that love those value wines, those comedy wines, but this is one that I can offer at even cheaper price, and it just really knocks them out of the water.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, what a fun career, I think for you, and certainly it makes you probably the envy of lots of folks. So with that, we're trying to add in one more little tidbit, I guess, from our guest, and you are our first victim, so it's good that you have a sip of wine before we go in with the new money question, which is, what is your favorite silver lining of COVID-19?
Oh, well, it's funny because there's so many things that obviously are difficult, not being able to see people you want to see, but there's so many positives to when you happen to live with your best friend and your son. You obviously love. So getting to spend time with them is just unbelievable. And I Henry was nice enough to let me take the first couple weeks off of the lockdown, and those 2 weeks, although difficult, and it's not a vacation, you're thinking about a lot of other things, but being able just to spend 24 hours a day with my family is by far the most important thing, and by far the best silver lining that's come out of this. If there is silver linings, which there definitely is. So.
Yeah, sometimes we just have to pick and find it wherever it is, or hiding sometimes. But
Yeah.
Scott, thank you so much. Any last thoughts for us before we wrap up?
Yeah, I just realized you asked me the price of this, so yeah, I flubbed that one. So the Roseate, by the way, is usually $11. It's on sale for $8.99, and then the Cobalt, like I said, kind of small, production. So don't run this one on sale, but you do get your wine club discount if you're in the wine club, which is 5% off and 10% with 6 bottles. This is $16.99.
Awesome. Thank you. Very affordable.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, again, and I know you're available to answer questions. We'll make sure that the Facebook Armanetti Wine and Spirits page is tagged in this video production as well. And again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for what you do for the community and your fabulous family that is also very involved in not only healthcare, but also in businesses in Woodstock. So thank you all. And I look forward to seeing you in the store where I'm picking up my next couple bottles of wine.
Hey. Amen. And by the way, I just want to get this in there. By the way, thank you, Kim, because people don't know, you found our house for us, which we absolutely love, and you're looking at right now. But also thank you for doing this. I've always known you were a great lady, but this is just unreal and so cool. And I think if anything right now, maybe one of the silver lining is the focus on community and the focus on really being a good neighbor, just in general, not your immediate neighbors, but all of them. And I think it's really cool what you're doing. So thank you. Well,
you are very welcome, and thank you. So, gosh, how to take a compliment.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I think a toast again is in order to great people knowing great people doing great things.
Yep. Amen.
Cheers.
Cheers, Kim.